Hi everyone. Here's the third video for Unit 1. This is on the Patriot Act. So we've done the lead up to 9/11, the 93 World Trade Center bombing, the 1998 embassy bombings. We're going to cover 9/11 as we go on through the unit. Now this is some of the stuff following 9/11. So the Patriot Act followed the attack on 9/11, as well as the response to anthrax attacks. I don't think we've really talked about those yet. Those happened 1 week after September 11th. Um, Anthrax was mailed to news media and to two U.S. senators. It actually killed 5 people and infected others. One of them actually was postmarked, as you see here, to Tom Brokaw from Trenton, New Jersey. You see here, as well as Senator Daschle. So people did not know, was this also from terrorists? It was just a very worrisome time. So the purpose of the Patriot Act was to improve the abilities of law enforcement to detect and deter terrorism. It was later modified in 2015 to help ensure the constitutional rights of people, because we'll get into how it was a little bit controversial. Now, this Patriot Act included over 300 pages, and it did lots of things. It provided it easier for law enforcement to do things like this: surveillance, wiretapping. It improved sharing information between agencies, specifically the FBI and CIA, which they found after 9/11 wasn't sharing information the way they should have. It gave tougher penalties to people. Lots of other things in this 300 pages. It allowed delayed notification, search warrants, so that it prevented a terrorist from learning that they are a suspect. It ended the statute of limitations for certain terror-related crimes, which means like they could be tried or arrested for it at any time. So there were some criticisms of this act. Here's a couple of the reasons. It authorized indefinite detention of immigrants. Law enforcement could search homes without the resident's knowledge, like we just mentioned. The FBI could search certain records without court orders. There's plenty of others. They didn't like that law enforcement had access to certain library records, financial records, business records of people. So some of this has been ruled unconstitutional since. And because of these criticisms, not everyone voted for it. The House voted in favor of it 357 to 66, which is overwhelming, but there were still 66 reps against it. And there was one senator that didn't support it, and that's here Russ Feingold of Wisconsin. So by December 31st of 2005, this was considered the sunset, where certain provisions were set to sunset or sort of like be done with. Many pushed in the months leading to this date to make those provisions permanent. They wanted some of these things that some people thought critical to remain. So it's been updated many times. It was updated in May of 26th of 2011. President Obama signed Patriot Sunset Extension Act, which gave a 4-year provision of 3 key items: the roving wiretaps, searching for business records, and conducting surveillance of lone wolves. Lone wolves are individuals suspected of terror acts, but they're not linked to a terrorist group. They're not a member of Al Qaeda or the Islamic Jihadist terrorist group. They're sort of doing it on their own, inspired by terrorist acts. You've seen this a lot in some of the smaller acts of terrorism we've seen at home since 9/11. So this Patriot Act leaves us with some questions. How do we balance security with rights? Okay, that's that Ben Franklin quote we're going to talk about soon. Are you willing to give up some of your rights for more security or not? What other ways was this an issue in our past? This isn't the first time where it's like, well, we're at a state of war. You got to give up some of your rights to make sure you're secure. So we're going to talk about some past precedents as well and try to weave out, what do we feel about it? What do you feel about it? How is this still an issue today? Is the Patriot Act the correct name? Are you a patriot if you're critical of the Patriot Act? If you have any questions, once again, let me know. And I've been telling you guys what songs are popular. When this bill was signed in the end of October of 2001, the top song was "I'm Real" by J-Lo and Ja Rule. So yeah, she's been around for a while. All right, see you guys next class. Don't forget to think about the standards reflections related to this if you want to get a head start on it.